Hey, this is Tim from Big Yellow Jeep, and today we're going to a place called Kettle Falls in Madison County, Arkansas. It can be found in the Madison Wildlife Management area in this county. It is about 1 hour east of the Fayetteville, Springdale, Rogers, Bentonville area in northwest Arkansas, so it's pretty accessible if you live in that area. And Kettle Falls is a pretty unique waterfall. What it is a hole in the side of a bluff where after large rains the water pours out through that hole and creates kind of a tea kettle effect. You have to catch it right though, so it's not always flowing, and it takes a lot of rainfall to actually catch it with the water flowing. So with the rain that we've had the past couple of days, I'm hopeful that we're going to have a good show today. Joining me is Huckleberry. He is becoming a pretty good trail hand, and he was raring to go today, so looking forward to getting out there with him. We're about 20 minutes into the drive, so we still got a little ways left to go. One thing to keep in mind is that when you turn off the main road onto the county road, the dirt road, it is pretty rough. I'm not saying you have to have four-wheel drive, because you don't, but front-wheel drive certainly helps, and a little bit of a high clearance. This is not for a nice car or anything like that to go down there, so keep that in mind when you're heading out here. It's a chilly day today. It's 42 degrees right now and the wind's blowing, but once we get into the tree line, we should be okay. Let's talk a little bit about the hike. The hike itself is not very difficult or strenuous. It's fairly flat the whole way. There may be a few little hills to climb, but nothing major, so that's not really going to be an issue for most people. However, in order to view this waterfall when it's flowing, it comes after a heavy rain, and you will have to cross Horn Fork Creek a couple of times, and so prepare to get wet. Ankle deep maybe, so if you have some good waterproof shoes or boots, then you should be fine. Otherwise, you know, what's a little wet water to go see something cool like this. One other note, the last time I was out here was in the summertime, and if you've never heard of a plant called a stinging nettle, wow, be prepared. Okay, so this trail does have them. Last time I was wearing shorts, and if you brush against one of these plants, very painful. They've got these little dagger-like filaments on the end of them that dig into your skin, and also there's a sort of an acid substance on them. Really bad burning sensation. In fact, the last time I was here, they were so bad on the trail, I decided it was better to wade in knee-deep water than to deal with those on the trail. So if you're in the summertime, even if you're in the summertime, I recommend long pants or just wading the creek rather than staying on the trail, because those suckers hurt. So anyway, that's about it for right now. We're going to resume this when we get back to the trailhead, and we should be there in about 40 minutes. But until then, peace out, and we'll resume then. Bye. Hey, this is Tim. We're not quite there yet to Kettle Falls, but a couple of things that I'll mention on the trail before we get there is that there are actually a couple of different ways to get there once you get to the parking area. You can either follow the traditional trail that goes overland and is a bit of a bushwhack in places, or you can also just get into the creek and follow it if you don't mind getting wet and staying wet for the whole time. So also in the summertime, the creek tends to drop a little bit, and it is what I would call a bit of a sketchy hike following the creek, because there are some pools of water with some overhanging trees that just look like it would be a place for water moccasins to congregate. I've never actually seen any there, but the place looks very snaky to me, so just keep that in mind as well. Also, while I do have Huckleberry with me today, I do not have Chase, Emily, and Campbell, my three kids, my three amigos that Three Musketeers, a Terrible Trio. They'll be joining me on some of these videos, so look forward to getting them out here when they are available. And also, if you need a harpist for an event, yes, I said harpist, as in harp. My lovely daughter Emily plays the harp, and you can check her out on Harpist Emily on Instagram and check out some of her music there. So if you need a harpist for a wedding, funeral, bar mitzvah, birthday party, maybe even a Halloween party. I don't think she's ever played a Halloween party, but I bet she could rock out Monster Mash on the harp. You know, just give her a shot and send her a message, and she can probably fix you up. And if you listen very closely right now, you can probably hear her rolling her eyes as we speak. So shout out to Emily with Harpist Emily on Instagram, so give her a look. We'll be back in a minute. We are here. We are at the trailhead for Kettle Falls. You can see the parking area. There are some people here today, which is a first for me because I've never actually been here when there were other people present. So, well, this will be interesting. We'll get Huckleberry out of the Jeep in just a minute, and then we'll head on our way. One thing to correct on my earlier statement, with all the rain that we've had recently, that road was really rough. I'm gonna have to put it in the four-wheel drive to get it out of here. So just keep that in mind if you come here, because the last part of this drive is very steep, and getting back out is gonna be a problem if you don't have four-wheel drive. So anyway, I'm gonna get Huckleberry, we're gonna get started, and then we'll catch you later down the trail. Bye. Here we are on the trail. It's a very nice day out here. The wind stopped blowing, so the conditions are fantastic. The creek is flowing good too. I don't know if you can see it much down there, but I think that's a good sign that we're going to have a really good show at the falls today. It's about a mile in and a mile out hiking distance, so we're just getting started. It'll be a little while before we get there. Huckleberry is smelling and sniffing everything. He's good at that. So we'll pick it up in a little bit. A nice little pour off running into Warm Fork Creek. We should see a lot of these today. Again, we've had a lot of rain in the past 48 hours, so good sign for the waterfall to be flowing. I'm struggling with Huckleberry right now, since Campbell couldn't be with me today and help take care of this dog. It's up to me, so I'm up to the challenge. We'll keep moving on. I'm actually not sure what the name of this little tributary is that flows into the main creek, but it essentially marks approximately the halfway point. You can see the water is flowing good. Sorry for the camera moving around as Huckleberry is tugging on the leash pretty strong, but we're going to start getting a little bit wet here, but that's okay. We came out here to be in nature, and sometimes that's part of it. So we will pick up in just a little bit. We're here. We hit the jackpot. Take a look at this. So today's hike was definitely worth it. We got really wet, had to cross the creek a couple of times. It is knee deep in a lot of places, but like I said, well worth the effort. There were actually quite a few hikers out here today, which is good to see. Good groups of people, so I encourage everybody to get out here in the Ozarks and see all that they have to see. Once again, remind you to go to bigyellowjeep.blogspot.com, and there are 20 or 30 different blogs posts about hiking trips, and on each one of them you can click on a directions link that will take you right to the trailhead. So this hike is not very difficult at all. It is flat. You just have to be prepared to get a little wet, because whenever you come down here to see the waterfall actually flowing, you really have to expect to get wet. But that's it for today. So this is Tim from bigyellowjeep.blogspot.com signing off, and hope you have a great weekend.